In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, by this sign of the Holy Cross of our Lord Jesus Christ.
This is a scene from The Exorcist. Every time I watch it, it makes me feel uneasy and look around to make sure I'm not being possessed or something. And this is a scene from Another, and I know I was meant to be scared at that, but I wasn't. In fact, I'd say making me watch Sword Art Online would be a much scarier task for me to accomplish. I showed you two scary bits out of context, one being in a Hollywood movie and the other being in an anime, and clearly the movie was a much better inducer of fear. Though animation allow us to bend the reality in ways which live action can never hope to do, horror anime just suck. Why is that? Why do movie buffs get horror movies like Get Out, the It series, the list goes on and on, while anime fans get stuff like High School of the Dead, Another, and why is Tokyo Ghoul categorized as a horror anime? Halloween happened recently and unsurprisingly, horror anime wasn't on my things to watch. I just wasn't interested. So today, I'll try to figure out why horror anime is everything it can be except be scary. Now, I'm not saying I'm an expert on what scary is, but like I said, I've tried to watch SAO once and that shit gave me nightmares. Horror is difficult to make in general. Sure, we have horror movies, but considering the hundreds of anime that get created every single year, the amount of horror anime is dwarfed by genres like slice of life, romance, and isekai. Oh my gosh, there's so much useless isekai out there. There's literally no incentive for these studios to make horror anime, when they could easily adapt a manga with a lot of fan service. Even if it's trash, we'll watch it anyway cause we're thirsty like that. And don't deny it, I know you watched To Love Ru or High School DxD or even, dare I say, Boku no Pico. Next, the drawing style of anime can never be used in horror. Let me ask you this question, if you were to see this face jump at you, would you be scared? The essence of horror is meant to make you feel uneasy, feel unsafe for a period of time. If you walk past a house saying there's a ghost in there, you'd feel uneasy, but if you walk past a house and the ghost is this face, then you wouldn't be scared, you'd probably want to go in. The cliche that classify anime as anime nowadays can't be a trait in horror anime. I'm talking about the big eyes, colorful characters with their K-pop looking ass hair, etc, etc. Junji Ito is a renowned mangaka with his genuinely scary manga such as Tomie Gyu or my personal favorite, Uzumaki. The story concerns the inhabitants of the small Japanese town of Korozucho that seems to be cursed by supernatural events surrounding spirals. Many people become obsessed or even paranoid about spiral shapes, which starts resulting in several gruesome deaths. The reason I admire Junji Ito's work is because how real he makes it feel. It's as if he takes his most darkest and creepiest of thoughts and just draws it on the paper. He disconnects the cliches such as the characters having large pretty eyes and in turn uses the lack of these traits to create the most darkest of drawings. It's this trait that separates the work of other horror mangakas and Junji Ito. Now you may be asking, can't the anime studios just adapt some of Junji Ito's work? Well, first of all, they have, but we won't talk about those. And it's also not that simple. You see, the genre of horror in general is not the most monetizable genre for these companies to adapt. The end goal for these studios are to make money as much as possible. Thus, if they were to release horror anime, they'd want them to be as marketable as possible. There poses the problem. Junji Ito doesn't create marketable titles, but defies the norms to create spectacular, generally scary titles. Therefore, the studios adapt non-scary horror manga, but since it has a lot of fan service or a pretty protagonist, the studios don't really care as long as it'll fill up their pocket. Though as of recent, studios such as Ufotable and Kyoto Animations are giving more abstract titles adaptations, I doubt we'll see them dive into the horror side of things anytime soon. But a little hope won't hurt anyone, right? In the meantime, if you so badly want to be scared, then go watch some SAO. That's it for me, guys. Subscribe and bye.